SLPA is a speech language pathology assistant. We're able to provide speech services based on the goals that are given from the supervising SLP. We do not write goals, we just follow them and target them. The SLPs are the ones who evaluate and create the goals for the client. So someone might need speech therapy if they have some sort of communication disorder. It might be someone as young as 18 months, or even older, older adults that have suffered maybe a stroke or something, and their communication has become impacted in that sense. They will know when it's time, when they sometimes hit a certain age and haven't picked up too many words, or maybe they're getting too frustrated and they're not able to get their message sent, whether it's verbally or using gestures or signs or something, and there's just that wall that can't be broken down. So I definitely start off with introducing myself, my name, and I try to get as much information from them as far as the child and just their home environment. Does he speak at home? If so, what does he say? If not, how does he communicate? It might be pointing, it might be crying, it might be, just different forms of communication, so that I know what I'm working with and what I should expect. I'll let them know, okay, well, this is what we're working on right now. We're going to start off with this, and eventually we'll move up to, the next thing. So sessions really depend on many factors. They depend on the child, their age, their diagnosis, their possible disability as well, and then definitely their goals, what they're working on, what are we targeting. So we have, play food here. Most likely it'll be for the younger kids, maybe between 2 to 5. I'll give them one at a time instead of just handing the whole thing to them, trying to get them to use some form of communication, whether it's signs or talking or saying like the M sound for more, whatever they're working on and able to do, of course. Also, my favorite are puzzles. I love puzzles. I'll start with one, and then after that, I'll ask them, okay, they put it in. Okay, what do you want? More. Okay, here you go. Or it'll even be something, if they're able to verbalize a lot more. I want horse. I want a cow. Tactile, just hands-on. You can't just have them sitting there without holding nothing. They're not going to be very motivated by that. So definitely want to have something that's hands-on. Hopefully they're interested in. Obviously, in first session and first couple of sessions, you'll know what they are into. So and then as far as clients who are older, they'll have articulation, which is pronouncing, how to pronounce, whether they're not pronouncing it correctly, they need help, whatever that is. I have different sheets to target certain sounds. This is what you call like drill articulation. It's not the most fun, but it will definitely get the opportunities in targeting those sounds. Like this is the SH, the sh for shirt, shark, shoes. This would be for obviously older children, and also if they're already beyond word level, they're at sentence level and you're trying to challenge them a little bit more. So definitely not being in person and being physical as far as materials. Like I love to do hands-on activities, as I have a lot of things here, like the pig with the coins here, and puzzles, and just a lot of tactile things. You know, on teletherapy, it's a lot different because you're in front of a screen. But I try to incorporate, you know, music and different things as far as interactive things like, oh, let's point with your finger, you know, and, you know, even though they're not the ones manipulating the screen, they're at least having that interaction in a sense of using your finger and pointing. And of course, that'll have to do with their goals, you know, maybe something receptive like, oh, point to the red car, and they'll be like a blue and a red car and they have to point to the red cars, things like that. Bubbles are very, very motivating for kids. Via teletherapy, where, you know, we were on the computer and I asked mom, hey, can you get some bubbles? You know, you can even find them at like Dollar Tree or something, 99-cent store. And yeah, sure enough, she got the bubbles, and it was exciting to watch, even just via teletherapy, not in person teletherapy, and it was just really exciting. You know, they were both just like smiling and really having a good time with it. And the great thing was that I was hearing those words. I was hearing pop. I was hearing, you know, he wasn't saying bubbles, but he was saying ba for bubbles, and, you know, things like that. It's very exciting to hear. To be patient, in the sense of, you know, as soon as you're barely working with a brand new client, I know I felt this way. I'm just like, oh my goodness, like this child barely babbles, like how am I gonna get him or her to talk? But just, you know, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and really determined to try to make some improvement for this child, then but you definitely need to have some patience and just believe in yourself.